The Rio Hotel, Las Vegas, a colorful cabaret of cutting-edge entertainment where the party lasts all day and all night. We show you what it takes to rev up this sky-high party. We go inside the night spot with a touch of voodoo. We take you to some otherworldly weddings, and we show you how to play golf like a pro as we strip away the secrets of a Las Vegas institution, the Rio. Las Vegas, a place where you can let the good times roll 24/7. And most people think the heart of it all is right here on Las Vegas Boulevard, better known as the Strip. But to find the soul of Las Vegas, visitors say you've got to escape from this riot of real estate and visit the Rio. They've got a reputation for being a non-stop party zone. And to pull people away from the Strip, they've had to pull out all the stops.
It's a lot of fun here. We spent most of our time here.
Since 1997, the Rio's $200 million expansion has been attracting a flock of party-loving patrons. But this resort casino isn't just about winning and losing. It's about high energy.
Well, the Rio was really kind of modeled after the Rio Carnival and all the excitement that goes with that. So it's really meant to be a kind of young, exciting, vibrant property.
The centerpiece of the Rio's party-hardy atmosphere is Masquerade Village, which features the show in the sky. And what sets this apart from most Las Vegas extravaganzas is simple. The action happens right above the gaming floor.
They're in these wild costumes, and you've got mimes and jugglers and stilt walkers, and you're sitting here playing a little blackjack, and you're thinking, my goodness, where am I? What's going on?
And here's something you may not know. Around town, most shows range from $30 to $120. This one is absolutely free. But that doesn't mean they cut back on the bells and whistles for the show in the sky.
That Masquerade show was great.
I have never seen anything like it. It was wonderful.
The show features themed parades that range from New Orleans Mardi Gras to a Venice masquerade. And then there's the floats. They run along tracks in the ceiling and come complete with dozens of dancers.
And all of a sudden they opened up the doors, had a show going, it was great.
But behind all the fun, there's some serious hard work.
The people on the upper platform, it has to be one line.
7, 8. 1, 2, and 4, 5.
And here's a secret. If you want to see the show behind the show in the sky, pay a visit to the casino before the curtain rises.
That's great. Let's try this with music.
Normally you walk inside a theater and we can close the doors, and by the time you buy your ticket, it's all said and done and you only see the glitz and the glamour. So this way you get to see a little bit of what happens to get to the glitz and glamour.
1, 2, 3.
But the hard work doesn't begin and end on stage. We took our Travel Channel cameras above it all to get a bird's eye view of the places where you'll find the people and the technology that bring this show to life 7 times a day.
So there's a football field's worth of machinery and the catwalks, tracks, steel, and electrics.
First stop, float storage. This is where those state-of-the-art amusement park type rides are put through their paces by a staff of technicians.
Yeah, there's a perpetual maintenance happening and preventive maintenance, and it allows for pretty seamless operation.
Then there's the 1,250 feet of tracks that crisscross the ceiling. And here's a secret. Thanks to those tracks, the floats move just like toy trains. Only they're a heck of a lot heavier at 20,000 pounds each.
They're friction driven, and They're pretty powerful. They can move at 8 feet per second.
The floats are controlled by drivers who utilize onboard computers. But to make sure they run without a hitch, the drivers rely on the console operators inside the control room.
This console controls the floats and the tracking switches.
This is an area strictly off limits to most visitors, but we got a sneak peek at exactly how it works. Here's a secret. These monitors track the progress of every float at every second during the show, and if one float gets too close to another, they shut them down.
This is like an overseer of the whole software system. It cuts off the power to the floats if they get too close. So we allow it to be 200 inches, which is 4 of these dots away from each other before we actually cut the power rail.
Here's another secret. These high-tech floats may seem like pure Vegas, but they were first designed in New York City and used in shows like Phantom of the Opera. But there's one big difference between Broadway and the Rio.
We actually have the pieces of scenery or the pieces of machinery through 1,250 feet away from us out over a casino. We're not capable of closing the curtain and taking care of a problem.
So they try to contain problems before they happen, double and triple checking each piece of equipment to make sure that it's in tip-top shape at all times.
Each person's safety checks is 2 to 3 pages long, and every person has maybe two sets of checks they do in a day. Everything's noted, monitored, and changed on a daily basis.
When the show finally starts, it's all systems go. As 8 technicians, 5 floats, and 50 dancers work together to create a seamless performance. If you miss it, don't worry. They do a new show every hour, and every time you see it, you might catch something new.
You get 7 opportunities a day, so you can see it from one perspective from the first show, another perspective from the second show, say and have dinner or something, and then see it again.
But if you want to do more than just watch the show, here's something you might not know. For $10, you can be part of the action.
We take you upstairs, back around the back, show you a safety video, get you in a costume hat, some beads, medallion, and get your picture taken with the performers. And then we take you out for a ride around the casino during the show.
We don't do this at home.
You'll be inches away as the dancers perform and toss what folks in the know call the gold. But if heights make you dizzy, you can still get your hands on some throws. But you've got to know where to stand. Here's the secret. Next to neon? Forget it. The bead throwers don't want to hit the signs. Too close to the tables? No way. They don't want to interrupt the gaming either. Just stay close to the slots and keep your eye on the beads. And a good throwing arm is only one of the qualities these performers need. Stamina is also key. And here's a secret. Most Vegas performers work just 3 or 4 hours a day. At the Rio, they put in a grueling 10-hour day.
2 shows down and 5 more to go.
And here's another secret. While these dancers look like they're just having a good time, the job is hard on their feet.
Sores, blisters.
Well, these are my new ones, okay? And here are my old ones. So you can kind of see the difference. And I've worn into the shoes right there.
And if a dancer wears out, there's always another one ready to come along.
For this initial audition, we had over 88 girls audition for 10 spots. It's tough, but those who get it, I think, own it.
But the show in the sky isn't the only thing that has people looking. Enter Rio Rita.
It's showtime!
Everyone has to have a mascot, and we have a mascot, and for us, it's Rio Rita. She is the embodiment of what I think everyone would love to do when they're at the Rio, but they're probably just a little too self-conscious to do it.
Hi, fellas. How you doing?
Rita is the Rio's ambassador of fun.
Hey, welcome to my party.
Thank you.
Her job is to roam the casino, greeting guests everywhere she goes.
1,000, 1,000. There's really not a downside to this job. My job is to wear a beautiful costume, and the reaction I get from the guests is incredible. They love the hat, they love the concept, they love the glitter.
And here's a secret. Besides this Rio Rita, there are 3 others making the rounds. But you'll never see more than one at the same place at the same time. So what's the secret to staying out of each other's way? It's all in the fruit.
You can see our hats walking through the casino. As soon as we see another pineapple, we go the other way.
Whichever way she goes, Rio Rita has plenty to do.
You know what? She's everything, and the job duties change daily. Gosh, we do everything from hosting slot tournaments, emceeing drawings. We go to fundraisers, things like that. But our main job is to make every guest experience personalized. Great having you up there. It was a lot of fun.
She hands out beads to customers. She runs around the casino screaming and hollering. She greets customers as they come in.
Welcome to the Rio.
She has a great time.
And here's a secret. This Rio Rita is more than just a pretty face.
She's very involved in helping us set up behind the scenes the promotions and how we're going to execute things down on the floor. But customers would never see that because when she's on the floor, she's kind of executing all the things and all the ideas that she's helped craft behind the scenes.
That kind of execution isn't easy, and even Rio Rita wears out sooner or later.
By the end of the day, we are really exhausted. It looks like a fun job, it is, but I'll tell you what, it burns the calories, that's for sure.
But Rio Rita is only one of the many special features this casino has to offer. You don't have to be in a festive state of mind when you visit the Rio Hotel and Casino, but get ready because you're about to enter another world. The Rio plunges you into an adult playground where the celebration never ends and where you don't have to be shy about having a good time. Despite the carnival atmosphere, it's impossible to forget that this is Vegas. And the reason most people come here is not just for the fun, but for the games.
Couple more. Need to make it 6.
The Rio does their best to keep the party going with 120,000 square feet of casino. It's filled with more than 70 table games and 1,700 slot machines. But here's what you might not know about the Rio. They've got what they call the Total Rewards Program, the Rio's version of comps.
Customers go, they sign up, they give us some information about them, and we issue them a card with their name on it. Now those customers then take that card and they go put it in the slot machines, and it allows the computers to track their play.
The number of points you earn is based on how long you play and how much you risk. But win or lose, there's never a mystery about how many points you've got or what you can do with them.
We've tried to demystify that, and we've done that by developing total rewards menus, which clearly state exactly how many reward credits it takes to earn the particular comp that you want.
But you don't need to plug your card in to get points. You can use it all over the casino, from the blackjack tables to the roulette wheel. Just give your card to the dealer.
Alrighty, Dolores, you got $48 in comps.
And they say you don't have to be a high roller to get in on the action.
It's really designed for the average player who really enjoys playing a little bit here and there. And all of the benefits and rewards are very attainable for very modest level of play. I mean, it was designed to do that.
And there's a couple of things you may want to know to get the most out of Total Rewards.
One is always use the card. always get your play tracked. Don't ever play without putting the card in the machine or giving the card to a dealer.
Another thing to keep in mind, avoid casino hopping.
Instead of taking their gaming budget and distributing it across 4 different casinos, it's much better for the customer to consolidate all that play to one casino.
Here's a secret. You don't just have to be in Las Vegas to earn your total rewards points or to cash them in.
It actually works at any of the 25 Harrah's-owned casinos in the United States. Up and down the East Coast, we have Harrah's in Atlantic City, in Chicago, in Missouri, in Louisiana. We have 3 Harrah's casinos, all the way to the West Coast in Rincon near San Diego.
And while you're racking up points, you might also be raking in chips. If you are, the Rio will be watching. For starters, there are plenty of security personnel, some in uniform and some who blend right in.
We have hundreds of officers. We have plainclothes people working. We have 4,000 employees who are dedicated to protecting our customers and our guests. And when the one person does something wrong, they're very surprised that they're caught very quickly.
Speed is key, but so is knowing what to look for. At the Rio, they have weekly training for security officers where they learn all the latest scams. And they let us in on the secret behind one of the best.
A person will drop some coins on the floor and mention to the player, hey, there's coins on the floor, I think you dropped them. And when the player bends down to pick them up, they will take a handful of their coins, their coin bucket, a purse, a wallet that's between the machines or on the floor, and wander away.
Those criminals can run, but they can't hide. The Rio has almost 5,000 cameras hidden throughout the property, and all of that information goes right to this room.
This area here is our security dispatch center. This is where all the communications for the property come through. We watch a lot of the non-gaming areas in here.
We wanted to see the system in action, so we put one of our own producers in the hotel to see if the cameras could track him anywhere he went.
And here he is entering the casino. Okay, he's stolen the purse and he's getting ready to walk out the doors. We've got an arrest team in place.
Even though this was just an exercise, that's exactly what happens in a real takedown. But the Rio has other crime-fighting tools, because the camera can't pick up everything, including one of the biggest casino dangers, identity theft.
People will forge new identities and think that they can come to the casino and easily cash checks or easily pose as someone else and clean out somebody's bank account. Here at the Rio, we are tied into the nationwide credit system to where if there's an alert out on an identification, that pops up and we know that right away.
And here's a secret, it's not just the Rio. All the casinos have their own intelligence network to cut down on crime.
Let's say something happens at the Venetian, they'll send out an alert with the suspect information. Same suspect shows up at the Rio, we spot them, we immediately put them under surveillance. As soon as they attempt what they accomplished at another property, we can stop them.
Their best bet is stopping the next crime before it even happens, so they encourage their staff to warn potential targets.
Everyone, if they see a customer who's not paying attention to their personal belongings, they will walk up to that person and just politely ask them, sir, ma'am, you may want to pay attention to your bag or your purse.
For the security staff, keeping the Rio safe is a job that never ends, but chances are you'll never even notice them, because there are too many other things that might catch your eye. Las Vegas is a scene full of lights, glamour, and action. But people say no place spells fun quite like the Rio.
I've heard that it catered to a younger, kind of hipper clientele, so we're staying in another hotel, but we slid over here because we're thinking about next time we come back, staying here.
Yeah.
From the moment you step in, you'll be surrounded by a live-action carnival. From the casino to the clubs, everything is made to feel festive. And that feeling goes all the way out the back door to the Ipanema Beach.
We have a white sand beach that runs right up to our swimming pools. We actually have 4 swimming pools and 5 jacuzzi spa areas, and it's a spectacular place to relax and get some sun and kind of get away from the casino action during the day a little bit.
Here's a secret. The sand was specially imported from Israel because it's heavier than most sand and wouldn't blow away as easily. And in case you don't have that tropical feeling just yet, they've got waterfalls to add to the illusion. Put it all together, and it's like having your own private pool club.
The pool doesn't have a lot of the people that strip pools will attract just from people walking up and down the strip.
The pool is for guests only. But there's another Rio hotspot that anyone can check out. It's the Voodoo Lounge.
There's a lot of places you can get good food, but what makes a restaurant turn into something that's more than just that? You know, it's the people that comprise it, it's the walls, it's the setting, it's all around, and that creates a restaurant that has its own life, if you will.
A little mysterious, a little dark, you know what you're gonna turn into the next corner.
And here's a secret. They don't call it the Voodoo Lounge for nothing. The walls were decorated by a real voodoo priestess from New Orleans. So it's got a look and feel that's totally supernatural.
There's symbols that have to do with the power of the woods, the power of water, things like that.
And here's a secret. The right combination of symbols promises good luck. Just what you want in a casino. But here's a secret. These 2 icons at the bottom of the stairs are supposed to be evil. But if you're worried about bad mojo, relax.
Yeah, those 2 symbols, basically, they create a positive aura by canceling each other out.
The other symbols you'll see slithering along these walls, snakes. The reason? Snakes are one of the most powerful symbols in voodoo, and a lot of voodoo temples have a real one around. But that probably wouldn't go over too well with the guests, so they decided to paint the snakes instead of bringing them in, even though most of the time they still prefer to keep it real.
Someone sitting here dining probably won't realize that there's an actual chicken's foot right above their head. And I think even if they did see it, it'll bring up a conversation. Wow, is that a real chicken's foot? Yeah, everything's real.
But wait, there's more. You can't have a voodoo lounge without the voodoo dolls. And here's a secret. One of these dolls mysteriously disappeared, leaving a lot of questions behind.
I don't know where it went. I don't want to know where it went. It's just gone. We leave it at that.
But the doll isn't the only thing to disappear around here. These candles are supposed to bring wads of cash, and that's just the kind of magic people in Vegas are trying to grab, literally. The candles kept vanishing until the Voodoo Lounge came up with a sophisticated system of holding on to them, tacking them down.
We learned better after a while. These are all glued and tacked down. We want people to come here and enjoy the experience, garnish that energy and take it with them, but we don't need them to take our symbols with them, too.
But if you really want a memento from the Voodoo Lounge, you don't have to swipe it.
Yeah, we have a gift shop downstairs in the main part of the casino, actually, that sells a whole host of different voodoo wares, voodoo doll kits, books on voodoo itself.
But at the Voodoo Lounge, some say the real magic isn't in those talismans, it's at the bar. Around here, bartenders have turned the art of drink making up, down, left, right, and all around. It's what they call Flair.
It's anything that has to do with making a drink with style. Bottle tossing, glass stacking, multi-tin pouring.
Flair's been around since the 1800s. But here's a secret. This kind of daredevil bartending only started to catch on when Hollywood put it in the limelight with movies like Cocktail and Coyote Ugly.
Voodoo was probably one of the first bars to do Flair in Las Vegas, and since then there's been probably 5 or 6 different bars to follow suit. I do a lot of 4-bottle things, tricks with 4 bottles, 4 objects, things like that that get pretty crazy.
And just how crazy do they really get? Don't ask. These guys will do just about anything for a little attention.
It's like trying to put on a show, trying to show people what you can do.
And here's a trick you don't want to try at home: fire breathing. The secret is they use 151 proof rum, which is just the drink to heat things up. But here's a secret: they keep a fire extinguisher close at hand in case anything goes wrong.
People like it, say, oh, that was pretty cool.
I don't have that much hair already, but I have even less now.
Hot or cool, the Voodoo Lounge serves up a menu of 42 different cocktails. And they say you won't want to miss this strange brew, the Witch Doctor.
It comes in a 60-ounce bowl. It's got about 10 to 12 ounces of liquor in it, and it's for like a party of, 3 or 4 people, and smokes and all kinds of voodoo magic goes into it.
Here's a secret. The first ingredient is the most important: dry ice.
That's the secret, don't tell anybody.
Which makes it smoke. Then they add the liquor.
Start with a little bit of light rum. Trying not to spill as best we can. We'll move on to some of your more potent stuff, like your 151, Captain Morgan. We got banana liqueur, peach schnapps, and the last ingredient, of course, the grenadine for color. Pour it over the ice, and presto, instant voodoo.
But the bartenders don't just get paid to serve up a show. They've got to pour 500 drinks a night. That's a lot of alcohol and a lot of flair.
You just don't want to get too excessive with it, because what the guests really want on the other side of the bar is they want their drink.
With 2 bartenders on duty, they can make drinks twice as fast and do it with 10 times the razzle-dazzle. But they don't want to drop anything during their bottle-tossing acrobatics, so they use the clap system.
I hear 2 claps, I don't even have to look, I just throw it, I know he's ready. If he claps once, then I know that that he's not ready for a throw, but he wants it back, so I'll just hand it to him.
But before we leave the Voodoo Lounge, there's one more thing you might want to see. The view from outside the Voodoo Lounge.
Best view in Vegas.
Look around, it's awesome.
When you're up here, you can't help but to get a positive vibe by looking at all these beautiful lights and the beautiful city, and the people automatically become beautiful.
The view, the setting, the atmosphere, this is the way you want to be.
Welcome to the Voodoo Lounge.
But don't get too caught up in the Las Vegas scenery, because there are still a lot of secrets right here at the Rio. In Las Vegas, everyone makes their own odds, tackling games with high stakes and fast action. But this isn't just the gambling capital of the world. It's also a wedding mecca. So after you've spent some time at the tables, you may want to grab the one you love and say those 2 simple words: I do. But before you go walking down the aisle, you've got to decide how to do it. In Vegas, there are almost as many ways to get married as there are slot machines.
Every time I say we're going to Vegas to get married, people are like, oh, you're gonna get married by Elvis?
At the Rio, they say they can deliver whatever kind of wedding you can imagine. And they do it all from their third-floor headquarters.
Would you like to take a tour of the chapels?
Absolutely.
Alrighty, well, come this way, please. They come here first and they meet with one of our wedding managers, and we give them a tour, take them through the chapels, show them all of our packages and what we have to offer. We've got one that would actually be behind you while you're doing your vows.
At the Rio, they have 3 chapels, including the largest one in Las Vegas, which is big enough to hold 180 people. And here's a secret. If you want to capture every moment of that special day, don't worry. These built-in cameras won't miss a thing.
So it's a very nice touch. When the brides and grooms are saying their vows, they don't have to have somebody with a camera in their face making them nervous. These are some little pupils.
But the Rio doesn't just focus on what happens inside the chapel. They map out everything you do before and after the big moment.
We can handle booking all of their reservations as far as when they want to get their makeup done, when they want to get their hair done, whether they want to go and have a couples massage, need a cabana at the pool, dinner reservations, show tickets, anything and everything that this bride and groom are looking for to make their day and their weekend special.
When it comes to weddings, timing is everything. And here's another secret. Since Las Vegas is a 24-hour kind of town, you can get married any hour of the day or night.
If somebody likes to get married at 3 o'clock in the morning, we will certainly facilitate it for them. Most people are in Vegas like to be out and enjoying their party life at 3 a.m., so we haven't had any call for it, but we certainly will do it if they need it done.
Thanks to that can-do attitude, there's plenty of people willing to take the plunge. Fact is, the Rio has about 80 weddings a month.
The most weddings we've ever had in a day here at the Rio is 25. And that makes for a quite interesting day, but being that it's weddings, everybody's happy, everybody's in a good mood, and the day just kind of flows by.
I just want something small, but also that encompasses a lot of our friends and family, and Vegas is kind of our place. It's where we go a lot, and we're here probably 6 times a year, and so, yeah, we decided to come here and have kind of a big party with our friends and family, and this is kind of the perfect place to do that.
But after the big day is over, there's still the night. And here's a secret. The Rio has the only themed wedding suites in Las Vegas.
Everything's so gold.
Yeah.
This is the Hollywood Honeymoon suite. It's a taste of Tinseltown in Sin City. And couples say the best part of all, lots of privacy.
It keeps the bride and grooms very secluded. And it's a very intimate time for them. And so here on the 3rd floor, it's quiet, and they can just stay right here all by themselves and not have any noise from anywhere else.
But if you'd rather go out on the town, you may want to follow the crowd to the Rio Buffet.
This is great. This is actually, you have a variety of everything. You can actually just go and pick what you really like, and if you don't like exact particular thing, you can actually pick and choose.
It's really, really good. I didn't know. I thought that this was almost like the food court at the mall, you know?
The buffet is one of the Rio's biggest draws. It's a mix of rare delicacies and family favorites, with 12 different stations serving up more than 1,000 options. That includes 3,500 eggs, 750 pounds of bacon, 240 gallons of soup, and 1,000 pizzas a day. So there's no excuse for walking away hungry.
That, to me, is what makes us special and makes us the best every year.
Buon appetito.
The buffet caters to more than 10,000 people daily. But feeding all those mouths isn't easy. So the Travel Channel's cameras went behind the buffet to find out just what it takes to keep the food machine running. It starts with buffet chef Anthony Damiano, who got his start at world-class restaurants like the Russian Tea Room.
It's unusual for a 4-star chef to want to be in a buffet, but this is a unique buffet. And the secrets that exist behind the walls are just incredible.
To produce more than 200,000 meals a month, Chef Damiano relies on a king-sized storage area.
Oh, it's mind-boggling. It's the ultimate.
The hoisin sauce, different mirrors.
A warehouse stocked with millions of dollars of groceries. The Rio gets from 30 to 60 deliveries a day. And here's a secret. They cook so much food, everything gets used up within 24 hours.
It's our dry goods stores where we keep all of our paper goods, dried product. We have our flours here, cereals, different spices. We're walking into the dairy cooler right now, where most of our dairy is stored, some of our fresh produce. The limes look great. We check all of our pineapples in here, watermelons, and all of our fresh mushrooms, fresh herbs. Everything is set up for each of the different restaurants so that it can all go directly to the restaurant. What do you have going here?
Those ingredients are just part of the recipe for keeping the buffet running. And here's a secret. It takes a staff of 2,400 people working day and night to chop, peel, and prepare enough food to feed the masses. But the crew doesn't just make the food. They also help shape the menu.
We have a staff that consists of everywhere from Bangladesh to Mexico to Cuba to Italy, Asia. Sakura, what are you making back there? Chow mein, all right. And they're being involved in the menu development. So it kind of gives them ownership to the food and makes them very proud of what they're doing. It's not Thai chow mein, though, is it? Chinese chow mein, okay.
Here's another secret. Everything in the Rio is homemade.
We have our hollandaise sauce, which Horacio made a little earlier.
From the bakery,
we produce anywhere from 20,000 to 25,000 pieces of bread, rolls on a daily basis.
To the butcher.
There you go. They look great.
The Rio chefs may keep their preparation behind the scenes, but they're not afraid of letting their guests watch them cook the food.
Nice fresh beef enchiladas, just look incredible. That's our tuna sushi. We do an avocado sushi. We do anywhere from 10 to 12 different sushis. The chicken will actually be marinated overnight, and then we'll crust it with either jerk spices or lemon pepper and garlic. The pizza is incredible. It's actually my grandmother's pizza sauce recipe, which we started about 2 months ago. It's actually better than Grandma.
And then there's dessert.
You have a lot of choices. We have anywhere from 80 to 150 different choices a day. It's just a lot of fun, and you just have a lot of choices, so you really have to take your time and plot it. And I said, why don't you just walk it first, and then go 3 stations at a time, and that way you'll thoroughly enjoy your experience. If you try to do it all at once, you'll just get too confused.
Here's something you may not know. The Rio doesn't just have a huge buffet. It's also got the largest public wine cellar in the world. Just how big is it? There are 120,000 bottles right here, and another 7 million in storage.
It's like almost like a wine museum, some of the wines we have.
If you want to buy a bottle, it'll cost you anywhere from $7 and up, way up.
This is our one of our largest bottles. It's actually one of the largest bottles in the world.
This gigantic bottle weighs in at 80 pounds, and it sells for $100,000.
You need a really big party to open this.
For a taste of history, there's the Thomas Jefferson bottle, which is more than just well-aged.
It's the 1800 Madeira, 45,000, it's yours.
If you want to try a more recent vintage, you could pick up something from the Andrew Lloyd Webber collection.
He auctioned off a lot of his champagne and wine collection, and we picked it up.
And if you've really got deep pockets, you could try the Cellar's most expensive bottle. This Chateau Mouton Rothschild sells for 300 grand. And here's a secret unearthed by the folks at the wine cellar.
That particular bottle, they've researched it and they believe it's the last one in the world of that size and that vintage.
If you've got the taste for a really expensive bottle but can't afford it, here's a secret. Sometimes the wine cellar pops the cork on their rare wines and offers them up by the glass.
Well, it can be anywhere from $50 to $100 for a few ounces. Just depends on what we're serving for the weekend.
But the Rio serves more than just wine, including some secrets they save just for their high rollers. In Vegas, the Rio is known for good times and great fun. But it's not just a party, it's a resort. So the Rio also put their guests in the lap of luxury. Of course, there's luxury, and then there's the Palazzo suites. Not just anyone can stay here. You've got to be invited. But we're taking you inside and showing you what it's like to be a top-of-the-line Rio VIP.
The most distinguishing feature of the Palazzo Suites is truly our service. We really, really care about our guests, and we provide the ultimate service to them. We try to exceed their every need.
The Palazzo service begins the instant you arrive. That is, at the airport.
Absolutely. We pick you up at the airport in a limousine. We drive you here, and of course you come through our private gated entrance where I will greet you, as well as a butler and a casino host, and we bring you up to your suite, and we check you in and serve you beverages and unpack your luggage and have everything that you could possibly want and love in your suite ready for you.
Here's something you may not know. There are 9 suites in this separate wing, which was built at a cost of about $38 million. Each suite ranges in size from 4,000 to 14,000 square feet and has 1 to 6 bedrooms. So there's plenty of room for you and your entourage. And then there's the decor. In the entryway, there's a rare jade bowl, one of only 3 in the world. The walls, they're decorated with everything from 17th century tapestries to this literary letter.
We have an original letter and engraving of Charles Dickens.
If you're wondering who's attracted to all this luxury, well, Bruce Willis and Jennifer Lopez have stayed here. And for those that are used to star treatment, one of the big draws of the Palazzo Suites is the butler service, including a private dinner party for you and 12 of your closest friends.
It is absolutely unbelievable level of service, the kind that you've never experienced before in your life.
That service will also take care of your sweet tooth as the butlers whip up dessert right before your eyes.
This is one of the dessert. We do as well banana foster, cherry jubilee. We have a cafe flambe, Diablo. And also we do like steak Diane, tableside cooking, Caesar salad. It's a very popular, people like a lot because it's something special, you know, and very European.
So what does it cost to spend a night at the Rio's top accommodations? Absolutely nothing, which is what makes this the ultimate comp. As for how much you have to gamble once you're here, the Rio is keeping that secret to themselves. There's another part of the Rio that attracts big spenders. This one's open to anyone if you can afford it. It's the hotel's own private championship golf course.
We learned how to hit it out of the sand, we learned how to hit it on the drive, and then we got to play golf.
The 240-acre course is home to Butch Harmon's golf school. And this isn't just any golf school.
Number one, the facility is fantastic. The weather is great. Las Vegas is a great place. The ratio of instructors to students is better than any school in the world.
But what really makes the school stand out is Butch himself.
In other words, let me hit one for you here, and let me show you the speed I want you to think.
He's been on the greens for 35 years, and he's given hands-on advice to some of the best players in the game, including a guy named Woods, Tiger Woods.
In Tiger and I's case, we've been together ever since 1993, and I know that his swings so well that anytime something's wrong, I stop him and we fix it, and we've been very successful.
But here's something you should know before you step on the course. Learning how to golf like Tiger doesn't come cheap.
That's more like it.
For $4,800, you get 4 days worth of lessons and 4 nights at the Rio, not to mention plenty of expert advice.
You were going about Mach 5. You were using the theory, I'm gonna swing as hard as I can just in case I hit it. I think it's probably the hardest sport you can ever play, and the beauty of golf is you learn about yourself. It teaches you humility, it teaches you concentration. There's great joys, there's great sadness.
Butch also uses some state-of-the-art teaching tools to help his students improve their golf game.
There you go. Good swing. The use of video equipment, of computers, all of that is enhanced teaching. At this point in your swing, the shaft should be more over here, and yet it's way down here. So what happens is you end up just slapping at the ball with your hands and arms.
Butch has a checklist of 20 things that he looks at to ensure a good swing, including posture, weight distribution, and ball position. But no matter what he teaches, he says it's up to his students to do the rest.
Good swing. Very good. Well, whether it changed your game forever is totally up to you. I mean, if you will work on what you've learned here and you will go home and put to use all the stuff we've done, yes, you're going to get better.
After you've soaked up your share of golf lessons, you may want to head back inside. Because whether you gamble the night away, or party at the Voodoo Lounge, eat to your heart's content, or get a taste of the wine cellar, it's never too late to join the party that never ends. Next time you're in town, you can always stop by and see why some people call the Rio one of the best reasons to leave the Las Vegas Strip behind.